Hi guys, it's Adria, and for today's video, I am going to be telling you guys about my very first period. Disclaimer, I have made this video before. If you're like, whoa Adria, didn't you already make this video? The answer is yes. Okay, I just rewatched it earlier today and I was like, you know what girl, I don't like this. I look dead, I sound dead, this is boring, okay? Nobody wants to listen to this. If you're a young girl trying to hear about girls' first period stories, that is not the video you want to see. I'm so sorry to anybody that saw that, okay? It was just cringy. It is no longer available on my channel. Snatched. So today I'm just gonna be retelling the story about my very first period. Here we go. So this was summer of 2008. I was 15 at the time. I think I was turning 16 that August. So yeah, I didn't get my period till I was almost 16. My doctor thought there was something wrong with me. Guess there wasn't anything wrong with me. I think it was just because I was really skinny, which can happen. It doesn't always happen, but I had a chiropractor back at that time. She was like, oh, don't worry about it. I didn't get my period till I was 16 because I was like a gymnast. I did like gymnastics and stuff like that. So it really all depends on, you know, your body type, and I don't know, your genetics can have something to do with it too, because I know my sisters got their periods a lot younger than when I did. I got it first though. That would be kind of bad if your little sisters got it before you. It would be kind of like, am I alright? But it just all depends. So if you haven't gotten your period yet and you're like 15, I didn't get mine until I was almost 16, like literally 2 months later I would have been 16. So it's okay girl. Don't be too hard on yourselves, because I know a lot of girls like send me questions and comments and stuff like, when will I get my period, when this? I have a whole video about like how to know when your period is coming, like what symptoms to look for. So if you were looking for that in this video, I will link you to that video down below. As I said, this was summer 2008. It was June. My siblings and I would do these weird videos together. Some of you guys may know about those. I will link the video down below that we filmed the day I got my period. And that's how I remember the day I got my first period, was because of this video, because we posted it that day. So we were filming this video. It was like an Alvin and the Chipmunks video. Honestly, I don't know why. And we would wear masks when we filmed, because back in the day we weren't allowed to show our faces on the internet at all. I don't know why. It was like when YouTube was still kind of becoming a thing. So parents are just like, I don't want my children on the internet, basically. But so we were filming this Alvin and the Chipmunks video. It was summer, and you know, we were in our pajamas while we were doing it. You know, it got to be like around noon, like getting kind of late. I would just start to feel gross if I was in my pajamas super late. I don't know. I've always been an early bird. I've always been like, okay, I just want to get up and be dressed and all that stuff. Although more recently, I've lost that. So I go get dressed, and I still remember the pajama pants I was wearing too, because they were my favorite. I loved them. They were these white Cookie Monster pajama pants, and they had little Cookie Monster faces on them with like little cookies, and they were cute and I loved them. So I sat down on the toilet. I think I looked into the toilet first. I can't remember though, like if I looked down into my pants and saw blood, or if I looked into the toilet and saw blood. I don't remember which one it was first, like what came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't know. Did I look in the toilet or in my pants first? But I just remember looking down and seeing blood and being like, oh my lord. Oh my lord. I can still feel the feeling. It's so weird. Like talking about this takes me back to it, where I can feel it, I can see it, and I don't like it. So if you've never had your period before and you're scared to have it, which I know is a common thing, I was terrified of getting it. Listen, if you're a young girl watching this and you haven't gotten your first period yet, and you're scared to, and you're afraid, and you're like, oh my gosh, when is it gonna happen? When it actually happens, and I can say this, you know, with my hindsight, looking back on it, it actually isn't that bad. Obviously at the time it was the end of the world. I wanted to die. I thought my life was over. Everything was flashing before my eyes. I was like, oh no, I'm not even a child anymore. So I was just like panicking. I start like breathing, like just freaking out. I didn't know what to do. I have blood in my white pants. Of course I had white pants. Of course I had white pants on. You know how many pairs of pajamas I've ruined from my period? Okay, but I thought I would add that in. I've ruined so many pairs of pants. Rip. I didn't know how to get the stain out. I didn't want to tell anybody. My mom was at work. All that was there was my nana, my brother, and my little sisters. I was like, I don't want to tell any of these guys like what's going on. I don't want to share this with them. This is my thing. I don't want them to know, okay? I don't know why, but I was under the impression that my siblings would make fun of me if I told them. They would be like, like what? And I don't even think my little sisters knew at the time what a period even was. That would be double like, what the heck? Stay away from me. You have the plague. So I just didn't want to tell anyone. 21. My older brother, obviously an older brother, is gonna give you a hard time. I'm not telling anybody, okay? Oh my gosh, do any of you guys remember the episode of Brace Face where she got her first period when she was on a date with that cute guy? Oh my gosh, I always thought he was so cute. Anybody else? Okay. Yeah, and then her brothers were giving her a hard time, you know, saying she was being dramatic and whatever, you know, the whole thing that guys do. But does anybody remember that? I loved that show when I was little, but anyway, so I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe I'll tell my mom when she comes home. I don't know about you, but I get really nervous when I have to do something later. Had my mom just been there and I could have just been like, oh my gosh, mommy, help me. But the fact that I had to wait like hours for her to get home, it like made me just think too much about it. Like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna tell her? What am I gonna say? How is she gonna react? What is she gonna do? It just made me more scared. So to get the stain out of my Cookie Monster pajama pants, what did I do? I found bleach under the sink. I probably should have just drank it, to be honest. So I found bleach for like cleaning the tub, cleaning the toilet, not bleach for cleaning out your pajama pants. No, I take the bleach, I'm like squeezing it out of the thing. It's not liquid bleach, it's definitely like the thick bleach, yeah. So I'm like scrubbing it into my pants, trying to get the stain out, and it didn't even get the stain out all the way. It turned like orangey, like pink, like light. Getting a stain out of white is like, it's the devil's work. You need blessings from God because nothing else will get that out. So I was just like, you know what, that's the best I can do. Threw them in the dirty laundry basket. So luckily, a few months, maybe even a year before this, I don't know, my family probably thought I was gonna get my period a lot sooner than I did. So at one point, it was probably the summer before this, to be honest, my Nana, who I went grocery shopping with a lot, even when I go to visit her, I'm like, can I go grocery shopping with you? Because I'm just weird. We went through the feminine hygiene aisle together and she was like, you know what's coming, don't you? Those were her exact words. I swear I'll never forget those words. She kind of gave me like a little raise of the eyebrow, like, you know what's coming, don't you? And I'm just like, I'm like, this is something out of a horror movie. Why are you doing this to me, Nana? I'm sorry, but there's like a way less scary way you could have done this. But so yeah, I had these pads up in my closet in a brown grocery store bag. And I was so weird. I would like lock my door, okay? Lock my door, get out the brown bag out of my closet, open it up, and just like look at the pads. Just be like trying to process the whole period thing. You know what I mean? And I had like this puberty book that my aunt gave me for my birthday, which is like a weird present. Why would you give that to your niece? Puberty book? You scored. I don't even know if they still sell them. They were in like white packaging. I believe they were by Kotex. And I just remember them having like a red flower or something on them. I don't even know if they still make them. Probably not because they sucked. This is where like all my period horror stories came from because these pads were terrible. So I was like, you know what? It's time to shine, brown bag of pads. I need you today. And I felt like the rest of the day my siblings could just tell. I've said this in other period videos where I feel like it's just written all over my face. I remember going down in the basement and my brother was trying to get our video uploaded and you know, like he's just like, oh yeah, like it's uploading, huh? It's so funny. And I'm just like sitting there eating a sandwich and I'm just like, I was like, I really don't want him to know. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. I remember that whole day my hands were like shaking. I was like so nervous. I was so on edge. So then later on, my mom still wasn't home. My little cousin comes over because she would like come over sometimes. And my sisters had swimming lessons. Okay. And sometimes I would go with them to swimming lessons to just kind of hang out and just watch and like, I don't know why. Who does that? I don't know. I love the smell of chlorine. Can they make that a perfume? But I was like, no, I think I'm gonna stay here, blah, blah, blah. And I stayed there and my little cousin was still there and I was just like on the computer and she's just like talking to me and I'm just like, oh girl, like, you know what, I can't. You know when you're just not feeling it? You know when you're just like, okay, everybody needs to just stop talking because I'm dying inside. That was me. So then eventually my cousin left and my sisters were still at swimming lessons and I was finally by myself. This was like the first moment of solitude of that entire day. And I was like, oh, and my mom was coming home. It's about to go down. So my mom comes home and she can just tell us something's wrong. Your mom always knows when something's wrong. I don't know. I mean, she'll call me now and my voice, I guess, will sound slightly off and she'll be like, what's wrong? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, no. No. So we're in the kitchen. She's like, what's wrong? I just clammed up. When I was younger, I was so bad at expressing myself and being like, this is what happened. This is how I feel. This is my emotion. I was so bad at like opening up and like being vulnerable to people. I don't know. I mean, I'm not great at it now, but I'm definitely better. So she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I just choked up, just started crying, and she was like, are you sick? I was like, did you get your period? And I was like, and she was like, ah! And just burst into tears, squeezes me. It's like, my period's all grown up. And I'm just like, oh my dear God. This is the end of days. So then she kind of gives me my space. I'm about to go up to my room and sulk and be emo. And she was like, oh, do you need anything? I'm like, no. I don't. Because back in the day, I did not have any period pain at all. I honestly thought cramps were a myth. I thought it was just girls being dramatic. I thought it was like, oh, like, why are they even complaining? This doesn't even hurt. That bit me in the butt real quick. Because then once I got into high school, my cramps became insane to the point where I had to stay home from school because my periods got so heavy and so painful that I couldn't even go to school. So then the next day, literally the day after I got my period, I don't know why I felt the need to clean our entire house. I was like my mom's favorite child because I just cleaned the whole house. I just vacuumed, I'd wipe the bathrooms down, I would just go ham and just clean everything. I would make all my siblings beds for them. Okay, like I needed a crown. I was a great child. And so I'm just going ham and vacuuming and everything, and my mom was like, you don't have to be doing that today, you know? And I was like, I don't really care. And even now, sometimes when I'm on my period, I kind of feel the need to like clean up everything around me. I don't know. I guess because I feel that loss of control in my life. That could be it. So yeah, that's really it for the story of my first period. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up down below. That really helps me out. And subscribe if you haven't, because I would love to see you again here on my channel, because you know, we're a big happy panda family and you guys are just so awesome. I love talking to you guys, and you know, definitely like hit me up on Twitter. Like, let's talk. I pretty much read every single tweet I get. So yeah, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know down in the comments below your first period story if you're not afraid to share it. Maybe there will be a younger girl watching this who will want to read some comments. Let's just show younger girls that it's okay, that it's not that scary. It was just kind of a moment. It was just kind of like, whoa, okay, this is happening. Like, I was freaked out at the time, okay? Like I said, my hands were shaking. I was nervous to tell anybody. But looking back on it now, as a 23-year-old, it's not that scary. And if one day I ever have a daughter, I will tell her that, you know, like, it's really not that big of a deal. And if you don't have your period yet, enjoy it. Enjoy it, girl. Enjoy not having to worry about pads and tampons and panty liners and blood and all that nonsense. Just enjoy it. But when it does finally come, it's okay. And each month gets easier, you get used to it. I mean, by now, I really like know when my period's coming. I know how long they are. After 8 years of having my period, I can honestly tell you that it is not that bad. It's not that scary. I mean, the cramps are bad and everything, but you know what? You get to eat chocolate, so. But yeah, I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. I love you guys. Bye!